Who are we?
Nobodies!
Speak for yourself.
Okay. We're Canadian filmmakers with the dream of surviving financially on the backs of our films.
Welcome to our show where we bring people along on our film journey.
Maybe we can learn a thing or two.
Maybe we can teach people a thing or two while drinking beers.
I mean, if you can't drink beers while filmmaking, what's the point?
We are Fable Forest Films, failing our way to success.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. I mean, our show. First frames first.
Because otherwise my knee is going to be resting on your knee the whole time.
It'll get
I can't
sweaty.
move backwards.
It'll get sweaty.
All right. So,
not weird. So that's
so we're back. We're podcasting. We're fodcasting.
Yep.
We're video podcasting. We're Fable Forest Films, and this is our episode number 2 of First Frames First.
That's right.
Very cool episode today. Super cool. We actually have our first ever guest star, which just came about, and our guest star. This is Jason Armstrong from Skeleton Key Films, and we were chit chatting about some other film related items, and we suckered him into coming on episode number 2. So
yeah. So I will just say, Jason, one of the sort of the premise for this show that we're looking at is mapping our journey as we try to figure out how we can pay the bills on the backs of our movies.
cannot. No, sorry.
Yeah, well, no, this is the journey we're on, right? This is what we're trying
Understood,
to.
yeah.
This is what we're trying to document that journey.
Yeah.
our
so
process,
that's just
how
what,
we do things.
Yeah, and that's just what the show is basically about.
Cool.
Just so you understand. So we're going to really enjoy hearing your perspective because you're doing the same kind of thing. Like you're trying to make movies. You're hoping that you get a return so that you want to make more than one movie.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you're hoping that you can get a return. So let's start with a bit of background. Why don't you tell us where you started when you got into the film industry? Take us back. Nostalgia.
Yeah. It's funny. I wasn't like one of those kids running around with a camera like this is what I always wanted to do. When I watched movies as a kid, I didn't think about who made them necessarily. I just thought they were cool. So far, it's like the worst story ever. But because my thing was music, I'm a musician, and that's what I wanted to do. Played in bands and stuff. Now I do have some bizarre home movies. Some friends of mine and I made. We didn't know what we were doing. We just thought they were fun. Made videos basically to other people's songs and stuff. But
The way the show also works is I jump in and cut you off from time to time.
right, just like
So,
that.
exactly.
Okay, excellent. Perfect.
So do you?
And I will never remember to address the camera, so it's going to be great.
Don't worry about
Do
it.
you still have them? Your home
See,
movies?
I hope so, but I haven't found them yet.
Because I don't know if you can see. I don't know what the camera can see, but I have a Betamax player back here,
Dude,
and I
they're
still
not that old.
I still have Betamax movies that I made.
So
when
you
I was a
can,
kid.
so you can you verify that those were actually superior cassette tapes?
I mean, everybody says so. I'll tell you that if I were to hit you with a VHS player and a Betamax player, I'm just saying.
Is that
if
really the standard of measurement?
if what I was trying to do was to beat you to death, Betamax player every time.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't know. It had dials that you could go back frame by frame if you.
Oh, wow. Almost like you could edit it if you want.
Let's say you were watching as a kid. I don't know, Body of Evidence with Madonna, right?
I believe I was. Yes.
Frame by frame.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Freeze frames.
It had.
It's I don't know. Do you know about that whole thing? It's a huge aside, but and it was like Sony was behind Beta
Yeah.
and they lost, but then they were behind Blu-ray and they won against
Yeah,
HD
yeah.
DVDs. So everybody gets their time to shine.
Yeah, and now that we're HD,
Just upload it to YouTube. And call it a day.
everybody's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought The Wire on Blu-ray, 5 seasons, and what came with it is the digital download, right?
Yeah.
Ultraviolet?
Ultraviolet.
Yeah.
So every awesome Blu-ray now comes with digital download.
Yeah.
So you put the thing in, and right on your computer, you've got
Yep.
HD The Wire, all 5 seasons, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Like, why did I buy the actual
But-
physical medium?
No. But Ultraviolet, the thing about Ultraviolet, when it first came out, people got really excited about it. They thought it was going to be more revolutionary than it was. Because the
It's
idea
supposed to be
being,
universally accessible,
yeah,
right?
exactly. You
Yeah.
could watch it anywhere at any point. You just log into your account and there's your.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
now, since Jay, interrupted you so rudely.
Well, that's good. It creates a time jump. So eventually I did become a musician in a band, traveling around and stuff. Started having kids, and that kind of got less awesome. So the band I was in, we were thinking about the last thing we were going to do, basically, to kind of cap off our glory days or whatever. And so I had this idea of writing kind of character-based songs, like 6 songs, and then we'd shoot a music video for each one, and that would be cool.
6 members in the band.
You know, and then it was just just characters, like just stories, and we just do it ourselves or whatever. And then just to back up a bit, for many years my wife harassed me to write a book because that was kind of my other forte. It was like prose writing. So this kind of became that opportunity. So I wrote. I mean, I didn't know how to write a script, so I just wrote stories, like prose, like a book type thing. And then we were like, you know what, this is probably like a whole movie, really. We should just shoot a movie, which seemed like a great idea. Some guys who have no idea how to shoot a movie. And then we didn't have to write the songs. So you can see where this is going, right? Like studio time's expensive, but I mean, we know people with cameras. How bad can that be? Little did we know. And so we shot this movie. A friend of ours helped us out. He's a documentarian, but we didn't really know what we were doing, and it was okay. But then I reconnected with a friend of mine who had been in a band, and we'd played together a lot, and then kind of lost touch. And he had gone to film school. He was in film school, and I talked to him. He said, "Listen, I can get some people from third year. We'll come out. We'll reshoot your movie like properly. Like here's how you make a proper script." And I was like, okay, cool, let's do that. And then we did it, and it was really fun, and I thought that was probably it. Then I worked on a set with him for something, and then we shot like a pitch trailer, and I made, kind of in the course of that, I made friends with like these guys from LA and this, actor from New York. Like I just wouldn't have expected. And they were all like, hey, we'll come and do, and I was like, really? So we just Inspiration is an example of that. Like it was a movie where these guys came from all over the place, and we just made a movie together. It wasn't like, hey, I can pay you guys tons of money. They were just like, yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And these are guys who one of them was working on a Spielberg thing afterwards. Another one like was the fight choreographer or fight designer. If you ever saw this, he'd give me trouble for saying the wrong thing for the Winter Soldier and like crazy stuff. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna send it. listen to me getting this thing right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So then it just kept going, and I just had many opportunities. The people I met said, hey, I kind of like the way you do things. Let's do things together. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I started to take it seriously and learn about it. And I was like, I think I like doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
So where did your buddy go to film school? Do you know?
He went to Sheridan.
Sheridan?
Yeah.
And the people that you've met along the way, have you continued to work projects together throughout, or did you kinda...
No, yeah, when possible. Kind of actually one of the weird stumbling blocks for me, I think it's a stumbling block, I don't know, is that so I did that first film with these people, and they were in their third year of film school, and then I think I'm friends with most of them on Facebook, but I haven't really stayed in touch with them. And then I worked on this movie that guy was making. I just was like taking pictures or something on set and kind of helping, and then went on to shoot my proof of concept stuff for another movie with like these new guys from, like I said, from LA and stuff. And then because of that, and then I did my next feature with those guys, and it just kind of became this thing where, like, even though I was in this area making movies, I didn't know anybody else in this area that was making movies because I wasn't working with any of them. So, years later, it's like, oh, like there's all these people, but now we're kind of we know each other, but like we didn't come up together. Maybe that's fine, but it's just an interesting way that it worked out, you know. And it definitely threw me straight in from like my first feature with third-year film students to like guys from Hollywood. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it was a Hollywood movie, but like that level of professionalism. And the thing I've discovered over the years is those guys from LA often feel more down to earth and easy to work with than, you know, like not necessarily local people, but people in Ontario and stuff who maybe take themselves almost too seriously and can be a little pretentious or whatever. Like, you know, these guys, I'm probably burning all the bridges I've ever made. Anyway,
we can burn all bridges.
That's true. But you know, but like,
do you find it's because they do it so often? Like
well,
they're
it's
around
just
it's
their
different...
job. Like they're just
right.
like, this is my job. And so the great thing was after a day of shooting, we'd talk about our kids or play around on guitar. Like we didn't need to talk about the work anymore. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way my brain is. Like I don't want to talk about
the movie.
I don't, you know, if I'm working on a project, I want to talk about it. But at the same time, when you're actually on set working,
you need a breather.
You have to, you know, you have to have a break. So then you can sit and think about what happened today and could I handle it differently, you know, just so.
Maybe
anyway.
the more like different directors or different people that you work with, you end up kind of building this mode of operating where you're, you know, you don't know what you're going to get from any particular guy, so you're not going to come off too strong or whatever. You're going to kind of just...
I mean, it could be. I mean, the thing is, too, I'd become friends with those guys, so it was a really easy, you know, sort of relational transaction, I guess. Like, we just could hang out and talk about whatever. And, you know, and I was learning a lot from them because those guys had this concept. I mean, obviously, everything they work on is, like, big, like I said, big budget, like kind of insane things actually when you think about it. And like, so I think for them it was kind of good to have the freedom of a non-union just thing that we're all basically living in this house shooting this movie in the middle of the forest. And, you know, but at the same time, even when they're relaxed, they bring a sense of that, like...
Thanks for listening to the Fable Forest Films podcast.
First frames first.
Yes, first frames first. Thank you, Jason.
Welcome.
If you enjoyed, head over to our website, www.thefableforest.com. Check out our films and sign up for our newsletter where we will send you exclusive content.
Hit us up on our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, always at The Fable Forest. And share our show with your friends. It'll really help us out a lot.
Dream big.
Work hard.